Welcome to the We Can Do It Women movement, where women 60 and wiser step into the spotlight and make the rest of their lives the best of their lives. I'm your host, Deborah Morrison, a wealth building expert and champion for extraordinary women just like you. For over 47 years, I've helped women secure their financial futures, and now I'm on a mission to ignite a revolution. Yep, showing the world that at 60, 70, and beyond, some of us might be a nickel slower, yet we're all just getting started. And our esteemed guest today comes to us from Rancho Cucamonga. Maybe I'm probably mispronouncing that, California. STARR Cod. And STARR is a highly accomplished business coach, entrepreneur, a technology strategist, with a very let's put the gas pedal on, very proven track record of helping life and business coaches scale their businesses. We're hearing a lot about it, but STARR is doing it. Scale their businesses, attract clients, and generate consistent revenue. Her expertise spans digital marketing, sales funnels, automation, AI-driven strategies, and conversion-focused messaging, making her a sought-after mentor in the coaching industry. STARR, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Deborah. I'm so excited to be here.
Great. Well, we are excited to have you. And I wanted to give a little bit of history for our viewers about your background. You grew up in South Central Los Angeles in a challenging neighborhood, witnessed a lot of crime, and raised by a single mom. And so this is an interesting breeding ground, if you will, for the birthing of STARR and into the woman you have grown to be. You recognized, pardon me, early on that education is the path to a better future, and you pursued it, getting a bachelor's degree, a master's degree in business administration. I commend you. And your upbringing and education laid the groundwork, right, for your remarkable success as an entrepreneur and business leader. And you're both. And you're so much more. So you're also a devoted mom to two young boys, 11 and 15, and you have a large blended family with 8 adult stepchildren. So STARR, welcome to the show, and just tell us a little bit about how this start got, propelled you, if you will, to develop as you have developed, because it's nothing short of absolutely remarkable. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deborah. I really appreciate it. So, growing up, I definitely came from, low income household and just living in poverty. When I thought about my future, I knew that this was not the future for me. I didn't know if I was going to have children or what my life would look like, but I knew I wanted more. And so I immediately took an interest in business, actually in middle school, and ended up going to a high school that was geared towards business as well. I only got to stay for a year. My sister didn't get in, so I had to go to a local high school after that. But that really helped me understand that this is something that I'm very interested in. So once I graduated, I decided, I'm going to go ahead and go to college. And my mom was very religious, and so in our household we really didn't talk about education. And for me, I'm like, well, how am I going to make the money to provide a better way for myself? And so no greater way than education. There are so many entrepreneurs who talk about you don't have to go to college to succeed, and I definitely believe that that's true, but I think that education really sets the foundation for like consistency, tenacity, dedication. And if you can prove yourself through going through that process, that just really sets the foundation for the entrepreneurship skills that are to come. And so from there, I definitely stepped into the corporate world before starting a business, and that's how I got started.
Yes, and you climbed the corporate ladder. Talk to us about companies, if you wish to name them or not, but companies for whom you worked or with whom you worked, and how where you started, and then how did you set your eye on the person that had the position that you were eyeing, or how did this whole stepping up the ladder actually unfold?
Yeah, so it was really interesting. I worked full time while I was in school full time. So it did take me a lot longer to graduate because I had to provide for myself. And I ended up getting a job working for the county, pretty much right out of high school. And that was a really interesting position. And then I worked in HR just before graduating for 2 years. I really liked human resources. It really enabled me to develop skills that would be needed to run a business, manage teams. So I think I definitely took a lot from that. But what I learned from that experience is that I was just an HR assistant. The HR generalist, the VP of HR, they both ended up giving me all of their workload because I would just be working so efficiently and effectively. And once the VP found out, I'm sorry, the HR manager and the generalist were giving me their workload, then she ended up firing one and talking to the other. And so I said, this is definitely not a place for me to stay because I saw that I wasn't able to climb that ladder. So what they said was, well, I graduated, got my bachelor's degree at that point, and I got another job. I got a job at a university. So that was really exciting in business development. And so with that particular position, the HR company that I was working with, they offered me a raise to stay, but she did not offer me the title. And that was my first slap in the face.
Oh, ouch. That is so telling, isn't it?
Yes. So I moved on. I said, something inside of me said, this company is known for paying really well, but let me just go ahead and just test the waters and move on. And what I found is that moving jobs every couple of years helped me to get that six-figure job. So I stayed at the next company for about a year, and a recruiter approached me. And I interviewed for a position with a six-figure salary, and I didn't get that position. Not right away. They decided they wanted to work for they wanted to bring in a nurse. So I did business development for universities. And that meant that I would go out and get contracts for nursing students for their clinical rotations, contract negotiations. So I'm reviewing legal documents, as well as kind of a salesperson. I have to be able to sell this company to these other companies. And so she didn't work out. And they called me about 6 months later, and I ended up getting a job making six figures. So that was just so rewarding at the time.
Oh, 100%. And there's some kind of a rich feeling like, all right, I could have been there 6 months ago when, if you'd hired me, the right person at the beginning, but God love you. Yeah, that working and then, jobbing, everybody jobbing off to you. I mean, that is just so typical. And I'm just, oh. Anyway, so I love the fact that you were so acute and you're cutie towards, hey, I don't have the title. And so that's just like, all right, you can go out and, you're in the front lines, you can go out and sell it and, make certain all the personalities work, but we're just not gonna give you a real crown on your resume. And that sucks. So I'm so happy that you left. God love you. So you guys, I don't know if anybody's sitting around on a chair without arms, but if you are, grab something, because STARR has scaled a beauty-focused business to over $1 million in annual sales, and she owns a 7-figure coaching business, a 6-figure Shopify store, and earns 6 figures as a seller on Etsy for consecutive years. My fellow women, entrepreneurs, and interested parties, this is a successful woman and brilliant beyond words. I can't say enough about how impressed I am with your doing this. So talk to us about scaling this brick and mortar beauty brand into a thriving 7-figure business. Goodness.
Yeah, so I think that's the exciting part. When I had the corporate job making six figures, I ended up staying there for 5 years, which was wonderful. It was a great position, a lot of flexibility. But I had my first child, and that really was eye-opening for me. Now, before I left that position, I decided to get my master's degree because it was very common for people to have an MBA or some higher level of education if they're making that income.
Yeah.
Not knowing what my future was going to look like, I decided to go and get my MBA. So I got that. And then I actually partnered with a coworker of mine, and we started a company selling durable medical equipment. Well, we were waiting for a year to get approved by the government, and so we ended up shutting that down. So once I got pregnant, I was just thinking about this, like, I really want to be home with my baby. I'm not sure what type of business I could start. And I really started thinking about what products I could sell that would be profitable enough for me to make enough income to stay home. Yes. And so at the time, and this is very important that you look at what's currently trending in the marketplace, in your area where you live, in your community, amongst your peers. What are people buying? What services are they interested in? And hair extensions were a hot item. Now, you mentioned beauty, Deborah. I didn't go to beauty school or anything like that. So it's not that I had a huge interest in beauty, but I am a very creative person and I like creativity and I love beautiful things. And I did love makeup. I'm older now. At that time, I was interested in that. But personally, I wasn't really a hair extension wearer. It was more about the price point of the product and the fact that people would return to repurchase that product every 3 to 6 months.
There
So
you
we're
go.
looking at developing a client base or a customer base of people who will come back to purchase your products or services. And so that's what I decided to start, was a hair extension company.
Wow. Now, did you do this by yourself or with your partner, your girlfriend?
Now, this was my own business, and my husband did help me for transparency purposes in terms of I did walk away from my corporate job. I did, have some money saved, and he also was making, very good income. So I was in a position that I could leave corporate and take that risk. So it's very important that you talk to your spouse. You understand if you're going to take a risk to quit your job, how long can you survive doing that? And so I have many clients now. I don't tell them to just walk away from their job. We want to develop some level of income stream for them first. And
Yes.
what we want to look at what your business expenses are, what your personal expenses are for your household. And then once we have an idea of that, work towards building that income. So I was in a position, I was very fortunate where I could actually walk away and take that risk. Now, Deborah, I didn't make 7 figures overnight. Didn't
Oh,
happen year one. So took a
well,
few years.
and you made them, and you made it. That's
Yes.
the thing. The perseverance is was completely rewarded, and I couldn't be more happy. Then you have this, product. Now, did you do this sale? Did you ever have you say brick and mortar? Did you have physical stores, or did you do this all online?
Physical stores. So
Yeah.
I ended up getting online later on.
Yeah.
And what I found is that women really were interested in seeing the product and touching the products and really checking out hand selecting the pieces that they want. And it's very interesting. I only sell online now, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But they really still want to know, can we come in? Can we still see these products? So I think that was one of the ways that I set myself apart from my competitors, was really branding. We talked about the beauty look, branding my business with the bold pink, as you guys, I'm always using the hot pink. It's my favorite color. I love baby pink and hot pink, but also it really stood out for a beauty product and for women. And we also ended up hiring models to take professional photo shoots. So we have professional branding on the products as well. And then also customer service is very, very important. I did build this business where I would not have to be there all day, every day. I would go to take inventory, pick up inventory, randomly check inventory, cash drops, deposits to the bank, and things of that nature. And I had cameras, and I'm on the phone with my staff off and on throughout the day, and I can see from my computer what's happening in the stores. So you also want to think about the time that's going to be involved in the business that you're choosing to build and create. And it's also important to note that you will not be able to scale a business to a 7 figure business. With some people do, but it's very uncommon, without having team.
Yes, of course. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, talk to us about how you selected your teammates. How did you find the people that were going to be, anywhere near as committed as you were in order to, help this business scale?
So retail is a very difficult
Yes.
industry, and there is a lot of turnover. And again, working in human resources was beneficial to me. I was able to understand the hiring process, how to interview people. And this is why it's important that you leverage the skills that you've already obtained through your past and bring them into your existing business. So I did have girls that didn't work out, and I had some that were wonderful. And so the best thing that I could do is interview them. I would also try to give them maybe a small test to see what their comprehension skills were like. Being that we had a large inventory of different products, lengths, and sizes, you know, they could, if they were not on top of it, or a person who doesn't have very good analytical skills, they would mess up the entire inventory. And so now we're losing money. So
Yes.
yes, just kind of doing that, and also SOPs. So I'm really big on developing SOPs for your business, standard operating procedures. I didn't know they were called SOPs at that time, but I definitely was doing that. So if you can document anything that you're personally doing in any business that you run, no matter how small you think it is, at some point you're going to want to outsource that. So I had an onboarding process for all new hires that came in. They would go through a very specific training, and I would also work with them side by side, or have an experienced employee work with them side by side. And then we would see, how far they can get. So yes.
Right. So that's impressive. And so I mean, how did you find the physical locations? I mean, California, not cheap, right? You just, did you parlay your product into other people's stores and you shared part of the real estate? How did you do it?
So I did a couple of things actually. I actually had my own physical location. So I started off with a very small location that was very reasonably priced. And also, it's important to know your market and who you're selling your products to. So my first location was more so in the inner city where African Americans live, and those were the women who primarily purchased the product that I sold, which were sew-in hair extensions. So you don't want to just sell something and you don't have anyone to sell it to. So I
Right.
brought it to a community, and you also want to check, if you're going to do brick and mortar, who are your competitors? How far are they from your location? And these are very important things that you'll source. So that was the first step. And once we were there, I moved about a block away to a little bit of a larger location. So it's okay to start very small. And after that, we moved out of the area to the Inland Empire from LA. And so I opened up a second location at that point. And that is when I was able to get my business to seven figures. In fact, not right away.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
actually had some issues with my vendors. So my vendor, and I don't know if you want me to go into all of these things, Deborah.
Yeah. It's interesting to me. Go for it.
Okay. So I had a couple of vendors, and they would take a long time to send the inventory. And so now we're looking at supply and demand issues within the organization. And so what happened was, I'm losing money because I don't have enough product on the shelves, but now I've built enough of a customer base. So
Demand. Yeah.
yes, I ended up shutting down one of my locations, but I didn't close the location as far as the lease goes. I started an Etsy store.
So good.
And so I happened to find an amazing product that was selling really well on Etsy. And I only generated six figures for 2 years selling that product. But that gave me a couple of months to just kind of think about what I wanted to do with the business. And what I found is that I needed to find vendors who were reliable,
I know.
not just were really focused on the quality of the product. So that's why I was really stuck with this vendor, versus finding high quality and also someone who's going to ship my products on time. And yes, they're telling me they are, but they're not. And so when you're working with other countries, it's important to note what countries you're working with. I worked with companies in India primarily when I first started, and I now work with companies in China, and they're very, very efficient with supply and demand and importing products. So I'm an importer, just for the record. So I did that. And as soon as I ended up bringing in the right products, that is when I scaled to seven figures. I was still, doing the beads, and I actually had two girls that would come in part-time and help me with, ship the products and pack the products that we were doing. And one of them said, well, Star, can I work for your hair company? I see you're going to open it again, because I had partitioned a part of the store off for them to work in. And so I
Mhm.
said, okay, I like this young lady. She's been packing orders for me. She was excellent when you talk about a team. So
Love
she
that.
stayed
Yeah.
with me for a couple of years. And so at that point, that is when I was able to actually scale to seven figures. I had built up a very strong reputation in the community. We would go to events, I would have people go pass out flyers. And also, you talked about other ways. Partnerships was another thing that we did.
There you go.
So you have to think about, who can you work with that will refer clients or customers to your business. So I ended up working with a lot of hair stylists, and I would
Yes.
offer them a discount, and I also white labeled the product for them to resell to their customers.
Smart.
And so they were really excited about that, and some of them weren't interested in that. They just wanted the discount, and they would come and buy the products for their customers. And so that worked really, really well for some time.
Really smart. Now, talk to us about the timing. Were you bricks and mortar, and then the pandemic kind of prompted you to go more less bricks and mortar? When did this all happen? Before the pandemic?
This was before the pandemic and after the pandemic. It was really interesting. We made a lot of money during the pandemic.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
And the reason for that is that people were at home with nothing to do. We were shut down for a few months. And then there was a time after a few months where, you could open to the public, but there were a lot of red tape. People had to wear masks and we had to have signs and we followed whatever each city was a little bit different.
Yeah.
So they were getting unemployment checks and spending their money on it.
Yes,
So
of
we
course.
were we were really, really thriving. Now, I would say after the pandemic, there was a time, and this is under Biden's administration, and I don't get into politics, I'm just trying to reference that time point where gas prices really started to rise.
Yeah.
And we saw some sort of decline happening within the company. And so I had to really take a look at that. And if you recall, I had a location further out as well, and I would commute a bit. I'm
Yeah.
starting to get older now, and I have to make it back to get the kids from school. And so I decided to shut that location down and just run one location. And then for a while, I did that, and then just completely online.
Interesting. So, you built and now still have the Successful Women Entrepreneurs Facebook group. And what an engaged community. Again, everybody hang on to the sides of your chair. Over 400,000 women entrepreneurs. How in the name of sense did you do this?
Well, I love that question. So, with my background in building my other business, I knew it's very important for you to build a community of raving fans if you want to sell a product. During COVID, before COVID, I didn't talk about the robberies that took place in my company, but there were some reasons why I wanted to get away from brick and mortar. And I was trying to think about what I could do in the online space that I would enjoy doing. And I started to see affiliate marketing and I tried that a little bit, but no success. Now, meanwhile, I'm still running a successful business. And then I saw coaches. I really didn't know what coaches were all about. I just started seeing these women saying they were making all of this money because I was in the affiliate marketing space. I created a Facebook group and I didn't even know what I was doing. I think it was named Mom something. I let that group sit for about 6 to 8 months until I renamed it Successful Women Entrepreneurs. Here's the thing. You have to build an audience if you want to sell your products and services. At that point, I knew that I was going to start selling coaching. I still was trying to figure out how I would coach women, but I started building my audience first during that process. What you do is you want to focus on your personal profile, which is your Facebook profile,
Mhm.
and think about who it is that you're going to serve. You go into other Facebook communities where they hang out. So let's say that you will be coaching nurses on starting a course creation business or something along those lines, then you
Yeah.
would want to find groups where those people are in. And you want to friend request them. You can have up to 5,000 friends on your personal
Yes.
profile.
Mhm.
So, what I see from a lot of my clients who do actually have 5,000 friends is that they've just been accepting friend requests from people who are friend requesting them. Well,
Yeah.
they're just people like me trying to sell to you. You want to curate your own audience. So, you would want to diligently go out and friend request 30 people every day. And so
Right.
during the pandemic, that's exactly what I did. I was sitting with my son at the computer. He had to do school online, and I would friend request 30 people a day. Then you go into your Facebook community on your phone or your computer, you'll see an invite button. You'll hit invite. This works better from the phone. And we would invite 50 to 70 of our friends to that community. Now you do have to take time to build your friends list first before you'll have enough people to invite to the group. But that's how I started in the beginning.
It's so organic. I mean, we all talk about Facebook ads and everything, but this is so organic, Star. I mean, I'm completely impressed. The proactive outreach, the direct engagement, strong messaging, offer stacking. Talk to us about offer stacking.
Well, I love offer stacking because a lot of coaches are telling you to create high ticket offers only.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to just have somebody that you've met online to just invest in your high ticket services. It's like, who are you? What do you have? So, what I like about this, having a product suite of products, is that you can actually sell things to people. I love free events, number one, giving things away that are free to people where they get to see you on camera and interact with you and they get to know your personality. I have a lot of clients who've hired me over other coaches because they like my personality. You're going to call in your own tribe. And so
Yes.
from there, you want to have products for people. Not everyone can afford to spend $5,000 or $10,000 to invest in coaching services. So I love having products and services that people can buy at lower ticket price points and higher ticket price points. And then you can ascend your clients into that once they get specific results. Or you can have products for people to downsell people into if they're not able to purchase your high ticket. So I love having, that's the first thing I work with clients on is what will your product suite look like?
Love that. And then referral based growth. How did you go out and seek these JVs, I guess?
Yeah, so we call them affiliates now. And when I first started, having the reason why I like having a Facebook community is because you build instant authority and reputation. I highly recommend that all women create a Facebook community. It's not a lot of work. People think it is, and it's really not. Well, those people started referring people to me. They will invite people to my community. They'll say, hey, start selling this course and just refer people. And so that's my first process of referral within the coaching space.
Okay.
From there, I now have an affiliate program for different products or services. So what you want to do is you want to create an affiliate link or campaign that's attached to a product or service that you're selling. Anyone can sign up if they're interested in affiliate marketing, if they're your former clients, and incentivize them, pay them a commission. I know some people say, oh, we don't offer affiliate commission. Why not? I mean,
Why
they're
not?
referring you. You get more business that way. And so all you want to do is create a very simple automation where they just fill in their name and email address. They're instantly sent the link. And then you obviously would like at some point, once you build this out, have some resources to give them so that they can market your course, your product, your services, and they have that link. And once they get their first affiliate commission, you'll see they'll start referring more people.
Isn't that the truth? And that is a great incentive just to lead them into the first one, because that first step, you got to you got to break the ice. Then you talk about ongoing support systems. Are you speaking here about a membership group, STARR, with your ongoing
So
support system?
ongoing support systems could be a couple of things, but yes, having a community where people can just go and ask questions. You can do a membership model for a community. You can have a free community that's attached to your program courses, or in my case, I'm selling a SaaS product so that they can come in there and ask questions at any time. So they will have ongoing support. Specifically, I'm referencing the SaaS in this particular example. And I have a tech support person who can answer questions at any time as well. So this is the beauty of scaling a business. You don't have to do all of the work. You get to hire people to come in and provide that ongoing support for your clients.
Yeah. Now, for those that are unfamiliar with SaaS, software as a service, give us
Yeah.
an idea, an example, STARR, of one or two of your SaaS products.
So my SaaS product is a white label version of Go High Level, which I love. I think that every business needs to have an all-in-one platform. And now that AI, we don't really get to tap into AI that much, but now that AI is really going to be a big thing, I encourage women not to be afraid of AI, not to be afraid of technology. In fact, embrace it, because we want to stay ahead of things. We don't want to think that it's going to take our job or our clients. We want it to enhance our companies and our business. And so there are AI pieces in there where it's voice AI that can answer questions for clients. So now that saves me time from being on the phone. Or if you have, we also have AI chat that you can create where the chat will actually, the AI chat bot will take over the conversation for you and answer any questions that they have, and then forward it to you or forward them to book a call with you. And so these are the things that you want to start thinking about in your business, is freeing up your time, leveraging those types of resources and tools.
Okay, thanks. So you teach the step-by-step systems, templates, content creation, dynamic engagement, and this guides the person, the consumer, from entry-level participation to premium product. And talk to us about, because I heard you speak and it was amazing, and you talked about an automation. Now this is probably tucked right into your white label, I suspect, whereby you're gleaning and grabbing the people that are joining your Facebook group. You're grabbing their email address. Do you find that when you ask them for it, some people refuse to give it, or how are you doing that?
Yes, there are many ways that you can do it. I have a lot of people that don't give me their email address, and I'm totally fine with that, especially with the growth and volume. So remember that everything is a numbers game when it comes to business. The number of people joining your community is one thing. The number of people who give you their email address is another. The number of people that you actually have engaged conversations with on Messenger is another number. So we're focused on volume, not necessarily I got everyone's email address. So when they come into the community, you can either send them a DM to offer them a free resource. And then when they say they're interested, if they say they're interested, that's another way to collect the email address. And you can also offer lead magnets in your community where they raise their hand as a comment on a post and obtain their email address that way. So personally, I'm not. Now, I do have some clients and also coaches that I have worked with who only will let people in who provide the email address. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can definitely do that. But if you're looking to go viral, so to speak, with your Facebook community, Facebook wants to see that you have an engaged community. What does that mean? That means that you're bringing people to your own community. There, people are engaging, commenting on posts, and actually posting. So we allow posting on our community. Commenting on posts are also allowed. And so I'm not so hung up on I have to have this email address per se.
Yes. Okay. So your Facebook group, you allow anybody to post, whether it's on current events or whether it's on their business or whether it's on they just got their master's degree and they're really excited and they want to, group congratulations. I mean, do you really allow every single person to post, and then how
No.
does, okay, go ahead. Let's talk
So
about that.
there was a time that I did. And so remember that I am looking at Facebook, recognizing that the community is active. So
Yes.
we have had times where the group is really growing up to 300 members a day. Last year we were getting like 1,000 members a day, almost for the entire year. We grew by almost like 300,000. But it took me about 4 years to get my first 100,000 members. But it took me months to get my first 10,000 members. You don't, I mean, even with 10,000 members, you can continue to make enough income in your business. You don't have to have that volume. So I actually monetize my Facebook community. One of the ways I do that is I actually have a membership where people can pay to promote in my community. So the people who pay to promote, they can post whatever they like, they can sell. Now, everyone is allowed to post in my community, but they have to post value and educational content, or we also allow like follow for follow type posts for free. But if you're selling, then we do charge for that now.
Okay, so you're charging a regular fee for that star, or you're basically saying, okay, you need to be my affiliate, and then, but I mean, how do you track that if it's the latter?
So two ways. One is that it's monthly. Remember, I am really focused on building monthly recurring revenue, and I really want to speak to the women who are watching this about that. I want you to think about products and services that you can offer that people will pay every month, month over month, so that you can actually start every month knowing that, okay, I have $5,000 coming in, 10,000, whatever that looks like for you. So I have people that pay directly every month to promote in the community, but I also have an affiliate link for people who want to also promote that specific offer. And then I pay them 30%
Okay.
of if they refer someone to promote in the group.
Okay, great. So this amount that you charge people in order to post their goods and services is a state amount, and they could post every single day if they wanted, or do they
They
have?
can, yes, for my group, and there are groups that do different things. They can post once per day in my community, and they can go live once per week in my community
Oh,
for the
wow.
paid members. So that means they can sell, they can do a little event, they can do a workshop, a training.
That's really good. So talk about the measuring, right? Because I'm always interested in measuring your engagement and your growth. And you talk about a Facebook group insights. Now that's new to me. So I'm not a social media person. So talk to us about Facebook group insights.
Yes, so with Facebook group insights, you can go to insights within your community. Facebook will show you that your engagement, if it's increased, if it's the same, if it's lower, you'll be able to see that. They're going to show you that. My personal way of measuring things is when I see Facebook is sending less people to my group. That's a key indicator for me. And at that point, I may say, hey, and I haven't done this in a while because I haven't had to, but in the past, I'll say, hey, we're going to let people, free for all post today because I want to start increasing that engagement.
Mhm.
And so right now we've been very stable with, getting consistent people to join our community, and I haven't had to do those. And there's another thing that I teach my clients that you guys can implement as well. And the last time I did it didn't perform as well. So I do want to air that with caution, but it could also be the size of the group. Smaller groups might work a little better. So we run a contest. And when you run that contest, we want people to invite others to the community.
Oh,
And
good.
so whoever invites the most people over a 7-day period, we will give them a prize. And I think we did like first, second, and third so that people would still want to be active in doing so. And
Yes.
with Facebook, with the tools that we talked about, so for example, I use Group Collector now. At the time, we used a different tool. That'll push all of the data to a spreadsheet. And so during that time, I'm looking at the spreadsheet to see who invited them to the group. And I sort that spreadsheet by the person who invited them to the group. And then I can quickly just highlight it and highlight their name and see that, oh, they've had 100 people that they invited or 20. And that's how I was able to track that at the time. But that's another great way to get a boost of traffic to your community.
That is sweet. So the name of the program is,
The software
yeah,
is Group Collector. That
okay.
is available on appsumo.com. That particular product is a one-time fee. You pay for it and you get lifetime access.
And do you have like an affiliate code that we can use to help you out?
That one it's a kind of a link. It's not something I can just, actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I think I do. It might be starcod.com/group collector.
You know what? Give it to us and we'll put it in the show notes. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
So then, thank you. So I wanted to have a contest and say for people in my group to invite their friends. And I did not have this. And so I had no way of tracking, how the new members that came in, I didn't know how to track them. Maybe two people said, oh, they told Sally at the same time, who gets credit for Sally. So this obviously ferrets it out.
Yes.
Okay, so so let's say I'm participating and I say, okay, and then I give you my list of 20 people that I referred. Is that how it works? Or when the
So
people
no.
join, they say, oh, Deborah told me to join.
So when Facebook actually shows you who invited that person. So when it goes to the spreadsheet, I can see all of the new members who were admitted and their names, and I can see next to them who invited them. So that's why I said I would sort the spreadsheet by who invited them.
Okay.
And then I can highlight that. They don't have to tell me anything.
Okay, but time out. I'm missing it. Where on the Facebook group does it track that? Where do you see that I invited a person?
Well, that would be through the spreadsheet, the tool that we use. But I think you can actually see that directly on Facebook as well. I'd have to go look at that. I know that if you go to your Facebook group, and I'm just going there now,
Yeah.
there's going to be a place where you'll see on the right-hand side, I believe it's on the right-hand side. There's an option where you can see like pending group members. And I
Okay.
want to say that it may show it there who invited them. I would have to look at that. I don't want to give misinformation, but Facebook does have that data available because we can actually download that into the spreadsheet. So right now I have 1,700 people that were invited to my group. Let's see them all. And
I see. Up at the top, you see the plus sign gals
Mhm.
with invite.
And it
Invite
tells you
Facebook
who
friends.
invited them right underneath that. If you expand, so if I say see all, then it'll show me the list of the people that are invited, and right under their name it'll say invited by, and the person's name will be there. So if you have to manually do it, yes, you can do it that way. Sorry, I had to just kind of double check. It's been a while.
I appreciate that because this is something that is valuable information for all of us. So thank you. Then let's just segue into, because you just have a font of massive amounts of information. You're also the creator of She Has Clients, which is a platform dedicated to supporting women in tech. You work very closely with female tech entrepreneurs, and you leverage AI and technology to enhance the business operations, develop digital tools, and that has made you a leader in this another category, helping entrepreneurs harness the power of tech to drive growth and efficiency. Talk to us about some of the latest things that you are experimenting with or implementing, and that we can maybe put our ear to the ground and tap you for leadership.
Yeah, so with She Has Clients, that is the product that I'm most interested in selling right now, more so than coaching. I would say I'm leaning towards growing that part of my business. There is coaching involved though, because the people that I sell to are primarily coaches, and this software works for any business. And this is where systems and automations come in. There are so many coaches who don't have an email list, or they have a few people on the email list and they're not focused on growing it. They don't host an event. They don't know how to do automations, or they did their first automation for an event and it failed. They didn't have people join or attend. And so we're looking at working with coaches to help them put systems in place so that they can have their automations in place, doing the work for them. Even if you want to run ads, I am not against that at all. I've done a lot of work organically, but if you are the type of person who doesn't have time to do these activities, or you just don't have a desire to, you can run ads to do lead generation. But what happens when that lead comes in? is very important. It's important that you have some sort of a nurture sequence that's going to get them introduced to your world where they can see. Again, I really focus on video content because I can give you something to read, but that's not me. You're not connecting with me. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things that we focus on. And also I built some bots as well for my clients that have been really, really exciting for them. They love using it. So if you're a business coach specifically, or even a life coach, I challenge you to start building AI bots for your clients. There are many things that they can do. My AI bots will create a product suite entirely for my clients. So they don't necessarily have to run with that product suite, but it gives them a great idea of a list of different products, recommended price points from $27 to an upsell of $97 onward to, their main high ticket offer. So that's really exciting. We also
Yeah.
have a bot that I really loved. In fact, I did a workshop last month where it creates the nurture sequence, where it actually two bots. One will create a lead magnet guide if they just don't have a lead magnet ready to go. And the second is a really very detailed nurture sequence for when people first come into your world. And these are not just any emails, they're specifically designed to evoke emotion into that person. So one example would be like an email that's showing you as the authority, an email that's showing results that you've gotten for your clients, an email that shows them you're real, you're human. I've been where you were. These were my struggles, and this is what I did to get here. So it's very strategic in terms of the structure and the number of emails and the way that they're pushed out. So that's also been very exciting. And so even as a life coach, you can create bots to help your clients do different things, create journaling prompts for them. You can have AI bots. We've even seen churches have AI bots to pray when people call in. There's just so much that you could do for any business that you run.
Wow. And this customization, if you will, and feeding the information in to create the bot, it really comes back to STARR, your heart-led leadership, right? Your authenticity, which is so evident. And then you are making strategic moves with regard to the marketing, with regard to the systems, with regard to the AI and tech, in order to bring it together. I've got to think that, uh, I want to circle back here to the Facebook groups, because I'm not getting the engagement that I want in my group. So we're looking to work on that. So the aspect of DMing them. So they come in. I think I heard you say they come in, we DM them. That kind of just thinks I think to myself, oh God, is that too spammy? So how do you not have that be spammy?
Yes, there's so many ways that you can do it. So we're not always DMing people in my community. It depends on what I'm selling and what I'm trying to do, because I've already curated like a very large audience. In fact, I cannot even DM the number of people that come in every day because we will go to Facebook jail. So keep that
Yes.
in mind when you first start DMing. You want to start off small, and then you can increase your way up to like 100 DMs per day, I would say would probably be the max. Some people can do 300, but that's their account is very unique and specific. So going back, you might start with like 5 to 10 messages a day, work your way up to 15, then 20. But I would love to see people sending at least 50 DMs a day if possible. And so when people come into your community, all you have to do is welcome them to your community. Thank you so much for being a member of our community. This is what we do. We have a few resources for all new members. ABC, is there one? Would you be interested in one of these? And we're just offering them a free resource.
That's sweet. So do you offer when your members are paying you in order to promote the product once a day, go live once a week, do you allow them to put their product into that suite of, hey, these are what we offer our new people? I mean, to me, that's kind of an interesting opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that. No, we're pretty much just selling, our own products and services, but we do have what we call it's almost like a gallery of the promotional members where they can just go ahead and fill out a form. Their picture will be uploaded, as well as like information about them, maybe what they're selling, and they can put their social media handles in there. So we will email that out from time to time, or we'll also post about that. These are, our top members or promotional members, whatever we want to call them, in that email. And so people can go ahead and check them out. And we also have a pinned post with them as well. Our featured members is what I call it.
Featured, yeah. Love that. Love contests. I love recognition. I like celebrating. Talk to us about how you celebrate like the top people that refer. Like, I mean, what gets people's attention these days in terms of reward?
So right now we just do the affiliate commission of 30%. For the software, we pay 40%. That's a really good commission. In the
Nice.
past, what we would do would be gift cards to Amazon, Starbucks, also maybe a free coaching session or a free course, just a mixture of those types of things. You can also, for me, in my case, I can also offer to allow them to promote in my community at no cost. So those are the things that we've given away and people liked it. Or cash. I think we've also just done a general gift card with like $100 or 50, I can't remember. So
Mhm.
people respond to that as well.
Absolutely, especially probably right near the holidays. Um, Talk to us about the a little bit, a couple of the deets of the white label Go High Level, because like a bunch of us are using Go High Level. So why should we use yours?
So what I like about our system is that we already have some templates that are definitely geared towards coaches. So when you come in, you already have automations in place. If you want to do a webinar or a workshop or a 3 or 5 day challenge, we have those things built out. Also, we have a Facebook community where you can ask questions at any time. And I also have a tech support person who is very, very friendly, very professional. He knows a lot about how to use the software. And so people, whenever they say, oh, you should sign up because of him.
I'm thinking
Because
of
you get the support that you need. Because most importantly, people will get into these programs. And I mean, you can even use Kajabi and just stay stagnant because you don't know how to use the tool or the system. So just being able to provide that support, I think is like most important. And then also now what I've been doing is personally also offering calls with people as a way to help them with strategy. So, okay, what are you currently selling? And I will offer them a strategy call if they sign up, and then I may make some recommendations on other products that they can add to their product suite, or how they can set our system up, or what features they should personally use for their business.
Amazing. And in her spare time, Star's a real estate agent. I mean, talk to me about well, do you
So
sleep?
yeah,
Do you
I'm
sleep?
not selling real estate now, Deborah. I'm not
All
sure.
right.
She's got a lot about you. I see you learned a lot about me. You know,
Yeah.
I got my real estate license when I was in college and started selling real estate. And it was really interesting because I was working at the county and I was selling real estate at the same time. So I've been off and on with real estate, but I'm not currently selling real estate. This is, I have my hair company and I'm doing this online business right now. But that's
And
also a fun
raising two
business
boys.
too.
And raising two boys. Well, this has been rich beyond words. I can't thank you enough for imparting just small segments of your prowess and your wisdom. We respect all of that, and I'm very much looking forward to getting to know these Facebook groups that you have started, and looking at the white label of Go High Level because we use that. So tell us how we can touch base with you the easiest, and maybe work with you.
Yeah, so my stomping grounds tend to be Facebook. So I just always recommend that people go ahead and send me a friend request, a DM, or follow me directly on Facebook. That'll be the best way. If you send me a message, I'm very active on Messenger. I will see your messages. And yes, I do have LinkedIn and all of the other platforms as well, but that's where I'm at. And you can also join our Facebook community as well.
Perfect. And you've got a couple groups. The first one is called wait, tell us the Facebook group
So
name.
I would recommend you join Successful Women Entrepreneurs. That is the group for entrepreneurs.
Okay.
We have a private group for She Has Clients for our personal clients. And, I have other groups that I've, grew as well for like different niches, but I'm maybe not really focused on it right now. So this works for any industry, just so you guys know.
Perfect. Well, it's been a joy and a delight, and I thank you, Star, for being our esteemed guest today. And I invite each of you to join Star's Facebook group such that you can get a little deeper into your own use of AI and being more efficient and profitable. So thank you for joining us today, each and every one of you on the We Can Do It Women Show. Remember, I see you, I value you, and your greatest chapter is just beginning. If today's episode sparks something in you, just light a fire and get to it. I invite you to check out STARR's assets and give yourself the beauty and the efficiency and the profitability of AI. It's not scary. It is profitable. It is a new thing, and it is a new thing worth giving our attention to and investing in. And until next time, I'm Deborah Morrison, reminding you, never too late to shine, and pay attention to your money. It will surely pay you back. Thank you so much.